Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Jodo Jake. Welcome back to the channel. This is another episode of Cards and Coffee. And the card of the day, not going to give you any hints. Give you a few seconds. No hints, I promise. It's this here, Neo Discovery Smeargle. One of my favorite Pokemon, one of my favorite sets, and one of my favorite artists. This artist has also done the T-Tar from this set. They've done some other phenomenal work too, but I love Smeargle. There's just something really cool about a Beagle artist, and I love the play on the name. Smearing paint, Smeargle, yeah, whatever. Shout out to Manny. He actually helped me find this card. I was looking for it, and he found one on eBay, and I instantly sniped it. Came straight from the land down under. I can't do accents. That was so bad. Brody's gonna give me hell for that. Thanks to Manny for helping me get this card. It's definitely a grail in my collection. And so today's video is actually all about Phantasmal Flames. As the title may be a little clickbaity, you know, will Charizard set this market on fire once again? I want to talk to you about my thoughts on the set, how I've compared it to past sets, what I think this set will do over the next 6 months, and what are some of my favorite cards from this set. How much do I have of this set? I've already bought some. So Phantasmal Flames comes out November 14th, little over a week and a half, and it's the smallest set we've seen since, I believe, Heart Gold Soul Silver Undaunted. That was like, I want to say a 90 card set, roughly, something like that. Typically, Charizard sets have been kind of small. Obsidian Flames was a small set, right? That's a very Charizard-focused set. I have to say that this Charizard is far better than the Obsidian Flames Charizard. It's like night and day. I believe the artist's name is Danxiao. I'm probably butchering it. I apologize. This artist is fairly new. They did the Ethan's Typhlosion from the Destined Rivals pre-release promo, and then they also did Zekrom from Black Bolt, the special illustration rare, which is one of my favorites from Black Bolt. And they've done some Pocket cards, if I remember correctly. I think they did the Aerodactyl from Pocket, which is a great looking card. This artist's style is, I don't know, it has weight to it. I don't know how else to say it, but like I could see this Mega Charizard card painted on canvas and just hung in a gallery. It's just so beautiful. The color contrast, the way that the oranges and the blues, they just really like bounce off of one another in a really nice and satisfying way. And I love this card. I've talked about evolution line cards on this channel, so if you're familiar with that whole theme, you know how I feel about those types of cards, and I think that this card is a great representation of that. It will truly show what evolution themed cards can do in the hobby as far as value, as far as interest, as far as demand goes for evolution line cards. Yeah, let's talk about Mega Charizard X. Now, for me, I'm not a big Charizard fan, but Mega Charizard is one of the best Megas of all time. Mega Charizard X specifically. I'm not a fan of Y, but that black and blue Zard, it looks phenomenal. This artist just knocked it out of the park. I think this set will be carried by that card as well as the gold card. The gold card, short term. Long term will be the alt art or special illustration rare. And I think gold cards will really lose their luster. I've talked about it more than once. I'm probably a hater at this point, but I don't believe in the value of the gold cards in Mega Evolutions overall. I think this alt art will be carrying this set on its back. And there's only 5 special illustration rares in this set. We have the Mega Charizard X, we have Mega Sharpedo, Mega Lopunny, Rotom, and Dawn. That's it. That's all of the alt arts. That's all we got. And you notice that none of those other Pokemon are that interesting, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Sharpedo, but I'm not actually a big fan of Mega Sharpedo. Lopunny, don't care for. Rotom has had enough illustration rares and alt arts over the past couple years. I don't know who at Pokemon loves Rotom that much, but they have made it their life's goal to make sure that Rotom is included in every single block at this point. I still think the best Rotom art that we've ever received was in Lost Origin. I don't know, there's something super hip-hop lo-fi about that alt art. But anyhow, I think about that size, and I think about Obsidian Flames, which only had 4 cards. It had the Charizard, it had the Ice Cube, Pidgeot, and Revavroom. The Pidgeot was great. I think that card was actually one of the other cards that really helped Obsidian Flames, in my opinion, even though right now it's extremely cheap. I had at one time 3 of those in PSA 10. I sold one recently. I have Pidgey. I need Pidgeotto for the entire evolution line. But I will say that the Mega Charizard X that card is far better than the one from Obsidian Flames. And typically in the past, we've seen a Charizard set within like 2 to 3 sets of a block. So for instance, we can go as far back as Flashfire in X and Y. Sun and Moon, we had, what was it? Burning Shadows. We had in Sword and Shield, we had obviously Darkness Ablaze. And I would also include Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars being one of the more exciting Charizard sets, in my opinion. Although a lot of the time that set doesn't really get branded as a Charizard set. I'm not sure why. Totally is. We have the Rainbow card, we have the Full Art, we have the Alt Art, and we have just the regular V-Star. There's a lot of Charizards in Brilliant Stars. He's also on the box. Like, he's all over that set, but it doesn't typically get branded as a Charizard set. And then we had Obsidian Flames in Scarlet and Violet era. And now we're here with Phantasmal Flames, our smallest set in a long time. And it's funny because I think back of Fusion Strike, which was also like a October, November set, and that's one of the biggest sets we received. I think Pokemon, is always going to print a Charizard set that is a Charizard set, and it's typically a smaller set driven by Charizard. But I think there's other factors to consider here with this set. It being such a small set, does that mean, this is a question for you guys, does that mean that they can print twice as much of the product? You know what I mean? With the larger set, a lot more goes into printing that set. But if you cut the set in half, you can basically fit twice as much on one sheet, right? Theoretically, it's something to consider, because if there's a lot more of this set out there, I think that'll help drive demand down a bit. A lot of the sentiment and expectations people have had for this set have been more so negative, and I see that as an opportunity for collectors in the short term and long term for them to get, a hold of this set in the coming weeks, coming months, over the holidays. Pokemon likes to print as much as possible around this time of the year. They really set those printers to go burr because they want as many people to see their product on the shelves at Targets, at Best Buys, GameStops, Walmarts, all the brick and mortars, LGSs. They want that in everyone's hands over the holidays. They want you to have Pokemon under your Christmas tree, which is great. And it's so funny how this perfect storm can happen all over again with the way this boom started. I'm not saying this is the end of the boom, but there's a lot of good things happening in the hobby that will bring balance back to the hobby to a degree. Now, I don't like to talk about the boom or predictions of value or tell people what to buy on my channel. It's just, I don't think it's helpful. There's a lot of content creators out there that will tell you something with so much confidence. There's just so much of that, and I don't want to pay any mind to that on my channel, honestly. But there's a lot of good things happening right now for collectors, for people that want to invest in sealed product, which is fantastic. I have a small position, I would say, maybe not so small for a lot of people, but I have a case coming of the booster boxes. I was able to pre-order Pokemon Center ETBs as well as a booster box, 2 build-in battles, and 1 UPC from Pokemon Center, the Charizard UPC. And then I also got 1 more Charizard UPC from Pokehive. But aside from that, that's it. I think I'll probably hold off on most things. As long as my single booster box from Pokemon Center looks clean, it most likely won't. It's going to be thrown in there with 2 E's, a set of build-in battles, and they do such a poor job of packaging their shipments. It's kind of ridiculous. I get it. They are working probably overtime, night and day on shipping and packing orders. I wish they would just throw in some bubble wrap, something. Maybe not bubble wrap, just styrofoam. Not even styrofoam. That's terrible for the environment, but something to just pad it. Throw in some more soft paper or something. Anything, really, please. But as long as that booster box comes in fine, I probably won't pick up much more. I like to pick up check lane sleeve packs, loose packs, art sets, and I love the 3-pack promos and the single blister promos, so I'll probably get a set of those. But aside from that, I'm kind of done with the sealed aspect of the set for a while, and I'll kind of just watch what the market does over the 6 months. With the next holiday set, which is Mega Dream, I think with more Mega Evolutions, Phantasmal Flames, and Mega Dream, there's just a lot of options, as well as Scarlet and Violet reprints, which I don't even know what they're reprinting. There's been so many people talking about reprints, and I don't know where their sources are from, and I just don't pay much attention to it anymore. I just wait and see what happens, what actually happens, versus like, you know, holding my breath for reprints. I just kind of take action when I feel most confident in something. And you're not going to win every time, you know what I mean? But that's just the way it is in these market conditions. That's all I have for sealed. The singles, though, I will be going after the Mega Charizard to grade as many as I can. And as far as illustration rares go, I gotta have a set for the binder. I think that the Meowth and the Piplup will do really well, especially the Meowth, knowing that a lot of people were thinking that was going to be like an exclusive, as well as the Paldean Wooper, which is also a part of this set. That Meowth is just so cool. I love when artists dive into the history and lore of a Pokemon and then they bring it to life. Not just the Pokemon, but the world to life in the card, and that was a phenomenal execution of that. I also think the Piplup will do really well, just because, I mean, Piplup's a fan favorite starter. It's a really cute card, and I really love the Wigglytuff. To some, it could look creepy. To me, not really. I actually think it's a really cute card. And I also am a big fan of the Flygon. I forgot Flygon was in this set. I think I saw Pokeplumber, shout out to Nick. He opened some Phantasmal Flames and he pulled the Flygon, and he too totally forgot that it was in the set. But it was cool to see. I gotta have the Mega Heracross full art. Heracross is one of my favorite Pokemon. It's my favorite bug Pokemon, so I will most likely get that, whether I get it, you know, graded or just put in a binder. I'll be picking that up. I think that the sentiment and expectations of this set are going to give us a lot of opportunity, and expectations is like a big theme of this video. A lot of people have high expectations for every new set, and they expect every next set to be better than the last, and that's just not the reality of Pokemon. Pokemon does not operate like that. Pokemon will always bring in and introduce new Pokemon and kind of force feed us them, and I'm totally on board with that. I've talked about the Gen 9 legendaries like Chin-Pao, Chi-Yu, Wo-Chin, Ting-Lu. All of those are phenomenal Pokemon in my opinion, and I love those special illustration rares. And Pokemon will continue to do that. They will not cater to, you know, putting the best Pokemon all in one set. They will spread it out, and they plan these things out years in advance. When people see set after set and become more disappointed and they start to agree with the sentiment overall, everyone kind of fades out and they lose interest in Pokemon, and that's where a lot of opportunities arise. There's no such thing as a crash when we've climbed so high. I think there's a lot of cards that are extremely overpriced, but there's still a lot of cards that are underpriced, you know, based off the market conditions, right? You can really have an argument for both sides. And I just know that we're still booming, and I don't know what this looks like in a year, 2 years from now. We have the 30th anniversary coming, and who knows? A lot of people are expecting things to come down after that, but we just honestly don't know. Anyone that tells you otherwise is full of it, to be honest. The only people that know is Pokemon. They're the ones planning this stuff out, and I'm sure they have some really cool stuff up their sleeves over the next couple of years. I'm really excited for the future of Mega Evolutions. I think that this Charizard will set the standard for special arts throughout this block, and I'm really excited to see what they do with Mega Dream. There's been a lot of rumors about us getting a Mega Dragonite special illustration rare. I think there was leaks for the gold card recently, and anytime they've done a gold card so far in the Mega Block, there's been a special art rare or special illustration rare, so excited for that. I'm excited for Phantasmal Flames. I'm excited for a small set. There's just too much to collect right now, so when small sets come around, it makes it a lot easier to collect what you want out of the set and kind of move on. I'm most excited about when it comes to these new sets is the quality. I've talked about Mega Evolutions. I've been buying up a lot of the Steelixes and Marshadows from Mega Evolutions base just because the quality is so good, and I could just send them off to PSA and I can I can bet on a 10 just based off of the overall quality. And I hope that continues throughout not just this block, but future blocks, because English needs better quality. We need higher standards for our products. And I know that's hard when we're in such demand and they need to print as much as possible. And that's typically when they cut corners. But they've done something different with this block, and I'm very happy. As someone that loves to grade, I'm excited to grade a lot of Phantasmal Flames. 10 out of 10 Smeargles, since it's the Pokemon of the day. Oh, for those that are wondering, this is a shirt by Shane Jag. Shane Jag's the homie. He does some really cool vintage style t-shirts of Pokemon, and he works with some artists to make these designs and ideas come to life. And this is hands down one of my favorite. You have Smeargle painting on the Wizards of the Coast logo. Perfect nostalgia. The back is very Neo Discovery focused. I'll send a picture of that and post it right here. Yeah, that's it, y'all. What do you guys think of Phantasmal Flames? What are you guys going to be chasing? Are you going to be chasing this set? Were you able to get any from Pokemon Center? I might be recording this video and there was another Pokemon Center drop as we speak, but you can't win them all. You can't hit every one of them. So just remember that there will always be more, whether it's Phantasmal Flames or future sets. You always have something to collect. And with that being said, take care, y'all. Happy collecting. Peace.